One thing that we pride ourselves with here at Waterford is the attention to detail and level of attention that we are able to provide clients. And a lot of that comes from our industry leading two-prong approach to working with you. You aren't just assigned a bookkeeper, you're not just working with a bookkeeper, and you're not just working with someone who's explaining the books to you. You're working with both. Every client is assigned a specific bookkeeper, and every client is assigned a specific advisor. Your bookkeeper is there to handle the day-to-day data entry, the coding of your transactions, the management of your CRM system integrations, creating your bank deposits, if you've got accounts payable with us, taking care of the accounts payable. If we're handling your sales tax filings, they'll handle all of that. And they'll handle a lot more of the day-to-day communications and clarification on how you're spending your money and where you're spending your money. But while a bookkeeper is great at ensuring your data is in there and recording all the information we need for you, we want to ensure that you also have someone there to interpret that data and explain it to you. And that's where your advisor comes in. They're still there all the time to answer any questions that you have. They just won't be reaching out nearly as often as your bookkeeper would, because they're not going to have questions on the data side or the entry side of everything. Their questions are going to revolve around the operations of your business, which is why we have those monthly or quarterly advisory meetings so that they can work with you. And they're there to physically explain the profit and loss statement to you, explain where your money's going so that you understand, wow, they said that I made this much money, but it's not in my bank account. That's, again, a reason why we want to have that meeting with you so that we can make sure you see that. They're also going to highlight any issues that they may be seeing operationally, whether it be collections of accounts receivable, whether it be spending too much on materials, spending too much on labor, anything like that. But they can also go beyond that and help with tax advisory and tax consultation if that's something that you need. They're also there to talk about marketing ideas that you have or changes in payroll compensation that you may want to look at implementing. While their primary goal, at least from our perspective, is to make sure you're understanding your financials, they are there as a business advisor to help in many different aspects. Now, that doesn't mean you might not ask a question that goes beyond their knowledge base, at which point they'll happily say, I'm not sure about that, or let me check on that and get back with you. And they'll either give you a call or shoot you an email. Or you may ask a question that legally we can't really answer, i.e., you ask a legal question. If you say, hey, what are the legal ramifications of this? Well, we're an accounting firm. We're not a legal firm. So if you ask something like that, they can't say, oh, well, this is the case. They may be able to say, in our experience, we've seen this, but that's always going to be followed up with, however, as this is a legal question, you should consult with a lawyer to confirm. Anything outside of our knowledge base, we're always going to defer to an expert in that field, besides providing an overall, this is the experience or this is what we've seen in the past statement. So they do really work together as a team. And if you ask a question to your bookkeeper that's above them, don't worry. They will happily forward that on to your advisor, and they will work with, and your advisor will respond. Vice versa, you may send something to your advisor that they loop in your bookkeeper to handle. That's fine. We get that there's a little bit of confusion on who handles what there. We're happy to sort that out on the back end. But at the end of the day, if it comes to data entry, if it comes to how your books are being handled and how they're being inputted, that's going to come down to the bookkeeper. If you've got an issue with understanding your books, or you've got an issue on understanding a tax issue, a payroll issue, a business operations issue, something like that, that's more where your advisor is going to come in. While we do have that one meeting every month or quarter, if you need additional time within reason, they're more than happy to schedule additional meetings there. Even your bookkeeper, while we don't guarantee a meeting with the bookkeeper, if you need some additional time with them, feel free to ask. And again, within reason, we're more than happy to set up some additional meetings there. But if there's ever a question, email it in to your bookkeeper, your advisor, or even email it into info@Waterford Business, and they will ensure that it gets to the correct party. Or feel free to call us, and our reception team and admin team will be happy to direct your call to the party best suited to answer that question.